today, giving you a little video update of Sunny Boy. Wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things he's been doing day to day and what he's been learning. So anytime I get a new dog, the most important thing for me is to build a relationship with the dog that allows for the dog to include me in a lot of their decision making. So most dogs that I see the first couple days, they don't have a lot of natural good impulse control. They don't have a really great focus on me. They focus on everything else when they're on the leash. That's fairly normal. And Sunny is a super social dog. And so he gets a lot of fulfillment outside of whoever's holding the leash. So it's not that we have to take away those things completely, but I definitely want to build some value in his ability to check in with us, especially as we're asking him for obedience commands. So if we're asking him to heel, sit, down, place, come, whatever it is, waiting at a doorway, he needs to put a lot more attention on us in order to fulfill those things. If he's distracted by the outside environment and then gets rewarded from the outside environment, whether that's he runs up and says hi to a dog or a person engages with him, then the value of what we say goes way down because he's getting external rewards elsewhere. So as I walk him down to Smith's here, you can kind of see there's times where he veers off, and what's happening is off the camera, you can't see, but there's people around and they're talking to each other. And it's right here. He's like, "Are you talking to me?" And so I'm using a little bit of e-collar, making him heel, following through. He blew it off, following through, keeping the button down on the e-collar until he comes back. And he's learning e-collar. He's learning how to turn off that pressure. The pressure to him says, when you don't engage with me, pressure is going to come off, and then I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep walking. So notice my feet. I kind of move away from him here and creating a vacuum for him to fill. So when that e-collar checks on, he has to turn it off by coming to me, and then I can present a lot of food. And it's exhausting for him. I didn't ask him to lay down here. Eventually I let him lay down and we just work on being calm, but moving him to focus more on me is exhausting. So Sunny has a lot of gas physically, but not a lot of gas mentally. Having him focus on one thing for any amount of time wears him out. And so we want to build some endurance with that. And so he's working for his food. He's being hand fed every single time we go out and we do training. And so he can learn, oh, okay, so I got to keep going. I want that food. There's a little bit, of motivator in there for him. But we just want to follow through. So every time he doesn't do what we ask, there's a little bit of pressure. And when he does what he is told, then there's no pressure, and then he gets payment. And so it really is that simple. The hard thing is just being really consistent with him. But he's getting it. So this is going to be a really, really important thing for him to learn and to build a lot of that mental stamina, even when he wants to be a little bit more neurotic, a little bit more in drive and running around and being a little bit crazy. We want to ask him for a little bit more impulse control, which will really help overall with all of his behaviors. But he's doing really well. So the kennel is coming a lot easier to him. He hasn't loved it right away. But when I work him and he has some kind of fulfillment, and then he goes into the kennel and he relaxes, it actually gives him an ability to turn off his brain and decompress, which is a really healthy thing for a dog. So he's doing really good.